Thank you for joining Plain Pap Church for online service today. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly uploads.
My God is faithful, for not a promise He has made has gone unfulfilled. All according to His will, and He is able. For by His grace He supplies my every need. Oh, His faithfulness exceeds beyond what I can see, and God is worthy. If not another blessing came, I'd still give Him praise. Oh, the balance of my days, and He's forgiving. Though I've caused Him much pain, He still calls me friend. Oh, yes, He does. His love and grace exceed beyond what I can see. Beyond what I can see. Oh, beyond what I can see. Though the road's not clear, I will not fear the way He's leading me. So until the morning light, when my faith fills inside, I'll rest assured in whom I have believed, and follow on beyond what I can see. God is holy.
Sermon Preview.
Profiles in Courage, Joseph to Moses, Part 3. Fear not, little flock, the ways are ready made. And somehow, despite the clashing noise and clamor of their enemies' warfare weapons, plainly signifying that in their human power, Israel mustered up insufficient might, God's message came through loud and clear, and though by the force of the people's power, they felt themselves to be simply a few, and their confidence stood shaken. Somewhere in the middle of every reason to doubt and to disbelieve, God ministered to them, to fear not, little flock, for the ways are ready made, because provision was securely dispatched and committed to the care of angels strong. Heaven's help was on the way. Profiles in Courage. Joseph to Moses, Part 3. Fear not, little flock, the ways are ready made.
Welcome to Testimony Time. We understand that some of you are working on writing down your accounts of what God has done for you, but we won't be able to share them if you don't submit them. You may have a Jesus joy smile on your face, but the congregation won't know about the work of God in your life until you share it. So please, say so, redeemed ones. Do you have a burning testimony that you want to give? Then please tell us what God has done for you by using the email listed on the screen. Do you have an offering, tithe, or donation that you would like to give Plain Path? Then please use the information on the screen to do so as well. For any further questions, please contact us via email or reach out to our church officials. Now it is time for the sermon.
Profiles in Courage, Joseph to Moses, Part 3. Fear not, little flock, the ways are ready made. Imagine those moments of celebration which the children of Israel shared who had traveled a significant part of their land-based journey toward that promised place of milk and honey, with high hopes in their hearts and dancing in their feet, as they walked away from slavery rich. They did not foresee their being hemmed in on three sides, with their enemies hot on their heels from behind. Could it be that the glory cloud which led them also obstructed their view of the waters before them? After all, they who had sown the tears of slaves for 13 generations were now moving forward toward a land of freedom beyond the Egyptians' watery grave, and had no care in the world until their enemies who had let them walk away changed their minds and followed them hard on their heels. Maybe they were geographically challenged or had left their GPSs behind. For anyone who knew the terrain would certainly recognize that with those two mountain ranges beside them, the Red Sea was undoubtedly ahead. And how does a multitude whose hosts were overloaded travel dead ahead without the gift of walking on water, a miracle of the man of the Second Testament, not the first? Or how could so very many people climb those very mountains when with the spoils of Egypt they were laden down? Just like when the people reached the Jordan at the leading of the Lord, that obstacle which sought to thwart their journey yielded to his will, so likewise did this sea in Carnadine. Had they the faith or the vision which could through the cloudy waters to the ocean's bottom see what only heaven's road crew knew was there, they would have recognized a footpath for God's people on its sandy bottom. All that was needed for it to be within public view was for God to lift those waters with his mighty hand and display that path which he had laid. Or was it that he raised the sea with the power of his lungs to display that foot lane which he had already installed? However he performed this feat, there they found no safety pins or duct tape or jello mold, which were used to falsify that divine phenomenon. But quickly were the people's eyes enlightened that their status had in a moment been remodeled from those who of late had left their quarters of enslavement with the blessings of the king into runaways who were now departing, no longer with his say-so, carrying away their Egyptian neighbors' goods besides. They were now the people whom the king demanded that they return with no hesitation, and they cried to their chief leader and noisily clamored as they made many faithless assessments of their dilemma, claiming that Aaron's little brother had brought them to that place of no graves, no leaks, no water, no garlic, and no hope. And Moses turned his head toward the wilderness wall and prayed to the Alpha and Omega to find out what to do, who said, "Why criest thou, Moses, unto me? Speak thou to the children of Israel that they go forward." Tell them to proceed. And by the power of the living God, that is exactly what all of those under the aegis of the all-wise counselor did. And somehow, despite the clashing noise and clamor of their enemies' warfare weapons, plainly signifying that in their human power Israel mustered up insufficient might, God's message came through loud and clear, and though by the force of the people's power, they felt themselves to be simply a few and their confidence stood shaken, somewhere in the midst of every reason to doubt and to disbelieve, God ministered to them. Fear not, little flock, for the way is already made, because provision was securely dispatched and committed to the care of angels strong. Heaven's help was on the way. Profiles and Courage, Joseph to Moses, Part 3. Fear not, little flock, the way's already made.
Thank you for joining Plain Path Church for online service. If you enjoyed the word today, don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We hope that you have a blessed week, saints. Until next time.